Hello everyone, in this video we'll see how the symmetric key and public key cryptographies are used to ensure the confidentiality as well as integrity and authenticity of a message. And then I will give you some small demo at the end of the video. So although this section is called securing email, but this is not actually talking about the specific protocols like SMIME or PGP and that is used to secure the emails, but rather it is quite general. Okay, so let's start with the confidentiality aspects, right? As we said before, the symmetric key cryptography and public key cryptography, they both have their pros and cons. Normally, the symmetric key is used to encrypt the data or the message, but then to distribute the the symmetric key securely, then we use the public key cryptography. But then, of course, like the scheme in this example is not the ideal case that we use in our real life. Normally, the private key is distributed in the initial stage, like during the handshake. So the distribution or the agreement of the private key are done by utilizing the public key cryptography. Then later on, after the shared symmetric key has been established, then the data will be exchanged by only involving the symmetric key. Okay, so now to simplify the case, we have the Alice wants to send a message to Bob, so the message is encrypted by using symmetric key. All right, and then at the same time, the symmetric key is encrypted by using the public key, the Bob's public key. So both of these ciphertext from the message and also the ciphertext that contains the private key are being sent to Bob, and then at the receiving side, Bob will extract first the symmetric key by using its private key. Okay, and then after the symmetric key can be extracted, then it can be used to decrypt the message. And then at the end, Bob can read the original message that is sent by Alice. Alright, so let's see how we can do it in the small demo. So let's say we have this oops. Now let's take this as a symmetric key. Oops, just a moment. This symmetric key that we will use. Then we'll use AES. Encryption algorithm. And let's say the plain text is, let's take the first sentence. Okay, now let's say this is the sender. We'll encrypt this when this is the encryption results. Okay, so we also encrypt this key, symmetric key, by using, let's say we use 2048 bits RSA. This is the secure one because 1024 is already hacked. Now we want to encrypt the symmetric key by using the public key of the receiver. Alright, just leave it like this, or RSA. Now, okay, so actually both of this encryption and the result of this encryption are being sent out to the receiver, to Bob. At the receiver side, first the receiver has to extract the symmetric key by using its own private key. Alright. Okay, so now this is the private key. Suppose that it didn't know what the private key is. So now this will be used to decrypt the original message. We use the CBC and 256, and let's decrypt the message. Okay, we have to decode to plain text. There we go. Now we get the original message sent by the sender. That's one way to combine the symmetric key and the public key cryptography. Alright, that's about the encryption. Right, now we can also use the public key cryptography to ensure the integrity as well as the authenticity of the message. As we already said before, we can use this to let's say create a digital signature. Alright, so basically Alice wants to sign the message that is sent to Bob, so it creates the signature first by using hash function, resulting into a digest, and then the digest is then she creates the signature by out of the digest by using its private key. Okay, so both the signature and the original message are being sent to Bob. Okay, now at the receiving side, Bob is first it takes this message and then put it into the hash function to get the digest, and then it compares the digest, okay, with the signature. So by using Alice public key. So if both of them are the same, then actually the message can be verified. Again, let's see how we can do it in the small demo. Let's say we have this private key, and okay, so let's do it from the beginning. Let's take this as an example. Okay, maybe, where was it? Okay, yeah, the text to be signed. Then we want to generate a signature of this message, so we have this private key. So be careful. This at this point now we are using this private and public key belongs to the sender. Okay, belong to Alice, not Bob. Okay, so we sign this message. Just a moment. Okay, hopefully this is the correct signature, and then just copy it. This is at the sender's at the receiving side, and we'll use the public key of the this is the public key of the sender, and this is the text that is also sent by the sender. So both the signature and the text are sent and then received by the receiver, and then we can use the public key of the sender to verify this signature. And let's see. Okay, since we are using this, I mean we are receiving this, so the signature is valid. So what happened is, if we, let's say we change this message just a little bit, let's see if we can verify this. Okay, so this small change in the message will give the not valid result. So we can really make sure that whether the message is already changed or not by using this digital signature. So let's put it back to the original message. Now we can validate the real message and the signature. Alright, now we want to combine both the encryption as well as the digital signature to provide the secrecy or confidentiality, and then authentication and integrity. So we have this. First, we we put the message into the hash function to get the message digest, and then we use the private key of Alice, the sender, to get the signature. Okay, so both the message and the signature are encrypted by using the symmetric key, symmetric key cryptography, and then we encrypt the symmetric key by using Bob's public key, and then both this encrypted message and signature, as well as the encrypted symmetric key, are being sent to Bob, or to the receiver. So let's do it again in these examples. Now we want to, let's say, encrypt both this message and also the because we already have this encryption. This is encrypted here. Now we want to encrypt, just to make it easy, we open two windows. Okay, we also want to encrypt this signature by using the same AES algorithm, and by using the same key. So there we go, we have this encrypted message. So now again with the same flow, we already done this before. We encrypted the symmetric key. Okay, symmetric key, we get this encrypted or ciphertext, and then at the receiving side, first the receiver will decrypt the symmetric key out of from its own private key. So we get this private yes, we get this symmetric key, and then by using the symmetric key, we can decrypt this original text as well as this one, as well as the encrypted signature. Now we want to encrypt, we want to decrypt the signature, original signature. Alright, let's decrypt this and decode into the plain text. There we go, we get the original signature, and this is, I think, correct. And then again we use this to verify the signature, and also we can now verify the original text. It's the same actually, so there is nothing change, there is no change. And then let's verify the signature, and it's valid. Again, if there is a little bit of change, let's say we delete this dot at the end, then the signature becomes invalid. Okay, so that's it for now. Let's see you again in the next video about SSL.